meal prepping some stuff, I got 5 make-ahead recipes to share with you, 2 breakfasts, 2 mains, and a healthier dessert snack. All these ideas are super simple, so you could technically make them all at once. I suggest starting with a mini meal prep though, as in only making the mains or the breakfasts or one of each. But if you're feeling super motivated, do the whole thing and have your fridge be stacked for the upcoming week. Also, I quickly want to thank Mo Bento for sponsoring this video. Yep, a sponsor that has to do with food. They make beautiful bento style lunchboxes, and they sent me the set, which I'm gonna be using today. So next to the meal prep, you'll be getting some packed lunch content. This one comes as a double stacked box with a smaller compartment inside one of them. Using these tabs, you make sure everything is sealed airtight. And the elastic strap makes it so everything holds together. They also sent me these little sauce containers, which are so useful. Also this bowl. It's a bowl lunchbox, which means from now on I can finally have cereal on the train to uni. Without further ado, let's get into these recipes. Starting with breakfast number 1, we're making whipped tomato basil tofu. First off, saute a chopped onion in some olive oil for about 6 minutes on medium heat until translucent. Then add tomato puree and let it continue to cook for an extra 3 minutes or so. Then grab your food processor. I'm using my mom's Vitamix, which doesn't seem to work that well for blending ingredients that are not supposed to turn out liquidy, if that makes any sense. Anyway, use a food processor and blend up the following: a block of firm plain tofu, the sauteed tomato onion mix, lemon juice or white wine vinegar, and salt. Once somewhat smooth, add in a few handfuls of fresh basil. Taste test and adjust flavors if necessary. Keep it stored in the fridge, and that's it. For a packed breakfast, you might make a sandwich consisting of the tofu spread, arugula, and sun-dried tomatoes. You might also take with you some trail mix and mini pretzel owls, which are from Anatua by the way, and I cannot recommend them enough. Also berries. You can place the sandwiches upright for that Instagrammable overhead shot, and that'd be idea number 1. For this second sweet breakfast, we're making a super quick peanut butter raisin granola. Preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius. In a big bowl, combine all the dry ingredients except for the raisins. I'm actually using spelt flakes in this case, salt, flax or chia seeds, and peanuts. To a saucepan, add coconut oil. Bring the heat to medium-high. Add agave syrup or any other liquid sweetener of choice, and let it bubble away for 1 to 2 minutes. Next up, add some cinnamon, some peanut butter, and let everything melt together on medium heat. Once melted, add the muesli mix. Mix it all up. Let it toast for 3 to 4 minutes while continuing to stir every once in a while. Then dump the contents onto a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. Place it into the oven for 10 to 12 minutes. Let it cool off completely, then add the raisins and store it in a big glass jar. This is so yummy and it stays good for 2 to 3 weeks. To my lunch bowl, I added some of the granola we just made. That was a lot of chia seeds. And oat cereal by Cohen. Also some raspberries. Bring some sort of plant milk separately to keep the crunch, and that's it. On to the bigger meals. First off, we have this creamy curry tomato jackfruit dish. To the jackfruit, add some minced ginger, minced garlic, plain soy yogurt, spices of your choice. I used this seasoning for fries, curry powder, and soy sauce. Mix it all up. Using 2 forks, break the bigger pieces apart. Let this rest for at least 30 minutes. In the meantime, cook up like 3 to 4 portions worth of some type of healthy grain. So I went for brown rice. You could do millet, quinoa. Also, if you want, you can quickly make your own tomato sauce, or skip that step and buy your own. I sauteed a chopped onion and carrot in some oil for 5 to 7 minutes. Then added tomato puree, a can of chopped tomatoes, a little bit of vegetable broth, salt, pepper, agave. I let that simmer for 15 to 20 minutes before blending it in my food processor until smooth. Let's return to the jackfruit. Let it fry for about 5 minutes. If there's still big pieces, make them smaller. Then add a bunch more spices. The either homemade or store-bought tomato sauce, followed by some water. And this can be skipped, but why not? You can also add some vegan cream. It can be soy or oat or coconut. And that's it. Started eating it immediately because it was so good. Couldn't wait. Idea number 4, a basic but delicious one-pot lentil soup. My remake of a canned soup favorite from Rossmann. The only work you gotta do is a little bit of chopping of vegetables. Bring a large pot to medium-high with some vegetable oil. Once the oil is hot, add all the vegetables you just chopped. Let them saute for 6 to 8 minutes. Add tomato puree, mix that in. Pour in vegetable broth, then the brown lentils, and your spices. I added paprika, the seasoning for fries, pepper, salt, agave syrup, and let this all simmer on medium heat for 30 to 45 minutes. And I kept adding water because it's evaporating all the time. During the last 5 minutes of cooking, add frozen spinach. Serve it with sesame seeds and nutritional yeast, for example. This last idea is my favorite, by far. I finally found a way to make Clif bars at home. This is inspired by a German recipe I found online, so I will link the original one down below. I'm gonna be making chocolate coconut Clif bars. Don't know if that flavor of Clif bars exists, but it does now. First off, make sure you have some squishy dates. If they're not already soft, let them soak in water for at least 10 minutes. Meanwhile, in a big bowl, combine all the dry ingredients. Small cut oats, some cereal of choice. I'm using oat cereal. You could do brown rice cereal or a whole wheat one, or maybe even cornflakes. Anything crispy but plain in flavor. Add shredded coconut, flax seeds, sunflower seeds, salt, and unsweetened cacao powder. Mix it all up. Then, to a food processor, add the drained dates, and blend them up into a chunky paste. Then add a few tablespoons of any nut or seed butter. I'm using a mix of hemp seed butter, which is not the most aesthetic ingredient out there, and this almond coconut butter. Add some liquid sweetener and blend until smooth, or somewhat smooth is okay. Add the wet ingredients to the dry ones, mix it up. I found it's way easier and way more fun to mix it with your hands. Dump it onto a baking sheet lined with parchment paper, press it down, and let this rest for at least 30 minutes. Afterwards, it's way easier to shape it into Clif bar shapes. I got like 11 bars out of that mix. One bar costs like €2 here, so that's 22 euros worth of Clif bars. If you want to do the extra step of melting dark chocolate and drizzling it over the bars, I would highly encourage that. And that's about it. Thank you so much for watching. big thanks once again to Mon Bento for supporting this video. Thank you for the boxes. If you guys are interested in these, you can use the code MINAROME10 to get 10% off on their website until the end of December. I'll have the link down below in the description, of course. See you guys soon. Bye.
Yeah, top down, Nasa look like Charlie Brown. Chimp suit, slinging fruit for Charlie's loot. Paced up like a big toe. Hey, are you getting paid, man? Fuck no. She said, hello puppet, we can help me rock it.